Hi, I'm Emmett Ryan, and welcome to Drinking Irish. Those of you who tuned in yesterday would have gone, that was a bit blurry. That's correct. I'm not sure. I have no idea what exactly happened, but I've pressed a lot of buttons, and we seem to be back to normal. So my solution to this was press a load of buttons until something looks like what it looked like before. Which is the old trick for when someone basically changed the language in your phone back before you could Google the way through. We're back. Should be able to see me normally. I'm not going to notice it until the end of this video, to be honest, because I've done a few testers where I should look normal, but sod's law, etc. So let's see tonight's beer. I decided I was going to go for a desserty one, and you're not going to get more desserty than the Dark Druid, a salted caramel pastry stout from the White Hag. Because what on earth? This is delightful nonsense. I mean, I haven't tasted this in my life, just to be clear, or if I have, it was Bob Coggins seeing me already way beyond any level of sobriety. It was well past black 4 o'clock. And goes, I should have a sip of this. He goes, oh yeah, grand. And I wouldn't have noticed it at all. So that's the best chance possible. And even then, I don't think he did it because I think it's a new enough beer that I haven't even done that yet. So this is the Dark Druid. And let's give this a go. 5.5%. I don't know what a salted caramel pastry stout is meant to taste like. I'm going to hazard a guess we'll get bits of salted caramel in the flavour. Now, you all know caramel's a pretty common flavour in a lot of the beers I try on this show. So, getting that unique salted caramel thing is going to be difficult. Never mind the pastry aspect, like how you're going to get an element of pastry in this. Although, I do recall years ago doing a show with Brian Condren on his channel, Irish Craft Beer Show, and there was one. It was an 8 degrees. I honestly can't tell you what 8 degrees it was. But the tasting notes were extensive, and it's like, come on, they can't hit all that. And they did. So look up Brian's channel. I'll put a link to it below. I don't think he's done a new video in a while, but like even his old ones, they really, not only do they age well in terms of educating you all about beer. It was a great one he did with John Duffy, the beer nut. But in terms of sort of, the production values, because this is good few years ago, we didn't have the quality camera we have now. Really holds up very, very well, I gotta say. So, as you can see, this one poured extremely flat. Oh my god, it actually smells like salted caramel. Bit of candy floss in the nose as well, but... oh my god, you fucking nutters. Because this is a beer you come up with when you're drunk. I'm not even going to have a sip yet. I'm going to give this a moment. 5.5% in case you missed me saying the ABV earlier. Because, you're sitting around on the lot. Sure, what could we make into a beer? Or what other flavour could we put into a beer? And, it's like, I'm assuming this is a Colin and Emma in Rascals come up with all their crazy flavours as well, by the way. And it's like, this is, sure. Bit of the old salted caramel, and then someone's there, I can murder a jambon. Pastry, that's a good one, pastry. So that's I think the level of thought that was probably going on when this was created, because there's our gig, because it actually smells like it says. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my, oh Janie Mac. I should have a sip, really, shouldn't I? Like, I haven't reacted that much to just smelling the frickin' beer. I can't tell you, just like, as soon as it gets to you're close to your nose, just wafting right up your nostrils. It's like, oh my fuck. Okay, straight face. This is for the internet. This does taste an awful lot like salted caramel on a pastry. The stout, in terms of the taste part, is more texture and body, I would say. Because I'm mostly tasting a salted caramel pastry right now. Dark Druid, lads, what is that? This is great. Don't get me wrong, this is a brilliant beer, but if ever a beer just said it's dessert, it doesn't pair with dessert, just to be clear. This is dessert. You have this as a dessert of your meal on its own. Anything else is just spoiling the nonsense. And this is joyous nonsense, no question. Joyous nonsense. but you just gotta have this as it is. And that's from one sip and a lot of wafting. Like seriously, I am not the biggest snob when it comes to the whole, you've got to appreciate the nose and all that. You gotta appreciate the nose in this. Give this a good sniff before you sup it, like, cause wow, this is madness. Whew. It's good, by the way, it is good. So before I go, something, oh, you tell me in the comments, which is more ludicrous? How I just described this beer, or the story I'm about to tell you, okay? So, got up today, as I often do, most days, not all, and I got showered, dressed, and then, closed the door of my bedroom after I'd gotten dressed. And I had no cause to go back in there until well into the afternoon. At which point I realised I could not open the door to my bedroom. Now, I'm just double checking, because I actually had never bothered to check before, there is no lock at all on my bedroom door. Never mind from the outside, where not only is there no lock, there's no screws either. So there's no way to fiddle with the door from that side. And so I'm walking back in with some laundry and I realise I can't open the door, so I've got to dump the laundry on top of a wardrobe that's outside here. And I go, well, we've got to do something. And I go, well, breaking the door down isn't really a good option because I don't own this place. And also breaking the door down is not a good option unless your goal is to shoot a scene where you're breaking a door down. Where breaking a door down serves a creative purpose. And a story in this show isn't enough for that. And so call the landlord, because I figured, well, listen, he owns the place. If we're going to do something, especially it's going this stupid. And I've lived here it'll be 11 years in October. I figure, the guy trusts me, he's never had any trouble with me. And he goes, well, actually, I'm going to be in the area, so yeah, I'll call out in like 20 minutes. Brilliant, great. Comes out and he goes, yeah, I can't do anything with that call, locksmith. And I go, grand, yeah, but, just covering all the bases. And so the locksmith comes out anyway, and his look of, oh, Jesus. And what I loved was he's clearly Baltic from the accent, like I couldn't tell he was Latvian or Lithuanian. My ear isn't quite good enough yet. Sorry to my friends from both those countries for that. I'm good, I'm not quite that good. And he goes, I'm a MacGyver something. So he managed to get the door open with a bit of plastic, which is pretty good. But it was more fixing the handle so the handle will actually work again was the really impressive part. But yeah, so I've never been able to, I've been locked out of my apartment before, but that was a deliberate, not deliberately locking me out, but a very clear, here's how stuff happened act. But I've never been locked out of a room that you're not supposed to be able to lock until today, because clearly my bedroom realized I had planned something that was going to be abject nonsense for tonight's video, and it needed to get its speak in first. So folks, I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe, please share this with your friends, let everybody know about what I'm doing here and why we're doing it, more importantly, because it's not about me, it's about the breweries. This is the point. Like White Hag with this absolute nonsense, utter glorious nonsense, have created a great beer that serves a very simple purpose. And I think you ought to drink it. It's that simple, being frank about it. It's great. Drink it, because who doesn't need a bit of mirth, especially at times like this? Sláinte live go léir.